Welcome to Perspectives on Islam from a non-Muslim. My name is Elaine, and the subject today is, the question is there freedom of religion in Islam? Now, this question was inspired by reading headlines such as this: TikTokers are now going nuts over the Quran. And I watched a couple of these TikTok videos, and as it says here, TikTokers are encouraging viewers to read the Quran. So it's important to understand that while it's very easy to enter Islam by saying the Shahada, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger, it's more important to know that leaving Islam is an entirely different matter. So you need to know something about the foundational doctrine. Everybody's familiar with the Quran. These are the words of Allah as delivered to Muhammad through the angel Gabriel. But the Quran is not in chronological order, and that's very significant. There's also the Sunnah, and this is the example and traditions of Muhammad. And together, these form the ordained way of Islam, the Sharia, the Sunnah, which is the example, and the Quran together. So the new Quran is greatly simplified. I bought one. I saw one of the Qurans that was being waved about in a TikTok video, and I thought, well, I'll get that one and have a look at it. And as you can see here, my Quran says strike them, and the recent translation says spank them. And apostasy is very important in Islamic doctrine. Here's an example. The one that made headlines. There was a Muslim convert in England, and she became a Christian. The man who was arrested for plotting to kill her had converted to Islam, just as she had converted from Islam. But according to Islamic doctrine, her decision to convert away from Islam was deserving of death. Now, there's apostasy punishable by death in only 6 countries, apostasy and blasphemy together in 7 additional countries, 13 countries with Islamic majorities. And this is apostasy and blasphemy against Islam. Now, in the early part of the doctrine, before the migration to Medina, you'll have heard this verse. To you is your religion, and to me is my religion. So this is early doctrine. And the change came with the migration to Medina. This is the beginning of the Islamic calendar, as you can see here, when Muhammad went with his followers. And in the first 13 years, there are 150 followers, but then jihad was adopted. And in the next 10 years, Islam grew to 100,000 followers. And other things changed as well. Now, in the Quran, you understand it says here, and this is very important, that we do not abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, except we bring forth one that is better or similar to it. This is the dualistic nature of Islam, is the earlier softer verses and the later verses, which include violence. And they are all true because they all come from Allah, but the later verses are considered the better, stronger verses. For instance, before Islam, Mecca was a polytheistic society with many gods. But with Islam came this, and this is from after the migration, this revelation in the Quran, that prayer has been decreed upon the believers. In fact, it's one of the 5 pillars of Islam now, and anyone deliberately missing a prayer should be killed. This is from a classic manual of Islamic law. From the Hadith, this is the Sunnah of Muhammad. It says, the blood of a Muslim cannot be shed except in 3 cases, one of which is when one reverts from Islam, becomes an apostate. And this also applies to family and friends. You will not find people who believe having affection for those who oppose Allah and his messenger. If they do, they become one of them. And here's an example. From the Quran, so take not protectors and friends till they emigrate in the way of Allah to Muhammad. If they turn away from Islam, take hold of them and kill them. Again, from the Quran, for unbelievers, I will cast terror in the hearts of those who have disbelieved. So strike upon their necks and strike from them every fingertip. And the strength for this comes from Allah. You did not kill them. It was Allah who killed them. You did not throw. It was Allah who threw. And this is also very important to understand. He who has obeyed the messenger Muhammad has obeyed Allah. So this is why the Sunnah is so very important. To read the Quran and ignore the Sunnah is to ignore Sharia. They go together. And this is from the Sunnah, from the Hadith of Muhammad. When a slave runs away and reverts to polytheism, he may be lawfully killed. A man embraced Islam and then reverted to Judaism. I will not sit down unless you kill him, as the verdict of Allah and his apostle. And again, I would have killed them according to the statement of Allah's messenger, Muhammad. Whoever changes his Islamic religion, then kill him. So children have no freedom of choice in religion in Islam. It is believed that every child, all children, are born Muslim. And it is their parents that convert them to Judaism, Christianity, or paganism. And the suggestion here is that when they are born, their religion is perfect, as an animal delivers a perfect baby animal, and it is their parents that corrupt them. Now, when Muhammad died, many thousands tried to leave Islam, resulting in the Ridda or apostasy wars, and thousands of people were killed. And I encourage you to go through this more slowly, pause the video, and read the details on some of these if you like. This is from Wiki, but you can find information on the Ridda Wars in many places. So the constitutions of non-Islamic countries and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights demand freedom of religion for their constituents. And their belief systems can be left without consequence and are therefore compatible with that requirement. As it says here, everyone has the right to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. This right includes freedom to change his religion or belief in public or in private. Islam does not. This is something to think about. So please like, share, and subscribe. You'll find links below. Thank you very much for your attention.